Welcome to Movie Class by Pizza Flicks. Please stay tuned for today's program, but first, some tasty tidbits from your host. There isn't much written about today's movie class subject, and what there is may not even be true. So let's uncover some hard facts about the vivacious blonde June Clyde. On December 2nd, 1909, William and Orpha Parton of Maysville, Missouri, welcomed daughter number 3 and named her Ina. Around the age of 4, her parents divorced. Mom packed up the girls and moved to St. Joseph, Missouri, where Orpha married Harvey Butts in 1914. The marriage didn't last. By 1916, Orpha and the girls relocated to Arbuckle, California to live with her father. Shortly later, she married for the 3rd time, and they became the family Clyde. Most contemporary sources note that June's career began at age 7 on the vaudeville stage, billed as Baby Tetrazzini. It seems a toddler was wowing crowds singing in the style of the famed opera soprano Luisa Tetrazzini. But as it turns out, the real Bambino Tetrazzini was Lillian Ruggiero. A proper vaudeville career began in Santa Cruz late 1926 as a featured player with the Romig Davis Stock Company. Around October of 27, June joined Franchon and Marco. Siblings Fanny and Mike Wolf started as a ballroom dance team before starting their production company, packaging elaborate live shows for the nation's movie palaces. These productions were so successful, Franchon purchased the Beverly Hills mansion that Buster Keaton was forced to sell following his divorce. During a stint at the Portland Paramount in the summer of 28, she got engaged to band leader Phil Lampkin. But the following March, she fell down a flight of 18 steps at the Capitol Theater in Salt Lake City, Utah. The marriage was off. When she recovered, she received a telegram from Paramount with an offer to come to Hollywood, which amounted to a dance number in the 1929 Mack and Moran comedy, Why Bring That Up? In 1929, after a long search for an ingenue to star in their musical Tanned Legs, RKO chose June and signed her to a contract. The film was a hit, and more followed. Around this time, she caught the attention of Hollywood's youngest director, Thornton Freeland. He was casting his new musical Whoopi, starring Eddie Cantor, and arranged an audition. She didn't get the part, but landed the role of her lifetime. A romance blossomed, and the couple were married September 12, 1930. She moved over to Columbia by mid-1931. Her first film for the studio was Arizona, opposite the Duke, but spent much of her time on loan out to smaller studios. June's last Columbia film was The Secret Witness, her only role under the direction of her husband. Next, Universal kept her busy for most of 1932, but in a familiar pattern, June's contract option wasn't picked up. This is a bit of a surprise, as she was chosen in December as one of the year's Baby Wampus stars.
The Wampus, an organization of publicity writers in Hollywood, have selected 13 prospective baby stars each year, hoping that they would make stardom within a short time.
In 1933, Thornton directed Flying Down to Rio, the film which first teamed Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. It was a huge success, but his career abruptly went into a decline. June's career was also in a tailspin, so in early 1935, the couple headed to Great Britain. Thornton scored a cinematic triumph with Brewster's Millions, and June appeared in several musical comedies. In 1939, when Britain entered World War II, the couple returned to Hollywood. In another surprise, the Freelands divorced in 1947. June headed to the Theatre Royal in Sydney, Australia, and appeared as the lead in a long-running revival of Born Yesterday, followed by John Loves Mary and Annie Get Your Gun. It wasn't long after her return to the States that she and Thornton renewed their vows in 1950. Her final film was 1957's The Story of Esther Costello, starring Joan Crawford. They lived happily ever after in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Thornton died May 22nd, 1987, followed just 20 weeks later by his wife, June Clyde, gone but not forgotten. And now for today's feature presentation, released August 15, 1932, from Invincible Pictures, The Thrill of Youth. Our story centers around 3 generations of the Thayer family. A grandfather doesn't recall his youth. A widower is having an illicit affair. And then there's the girl, played by our movie class star of the day, June Clyde, caught in a love storm that pits brother against brother. Find out who wins her heart in this racy pre-code pizza flicks critics condemned for its loose moral tone.
Right down, Daddy. It's attending the museum.
You know, Steve, Chet's been excited ever since he got home. The museum called up and wanted to see the pictures he took in Africa.
Well, must be exciting to have a celebrity in the family.
If he's anything like the boys that came back from the war, we won't hear a word about his trip after tomorrow's breakfast.
What's the matter, Grandpa?
Nothing. Just look at that. Look at it.
Well, I am looking at it. What about it?
This is your younger generation. And that's what.
Don't be mid-Victorian, Zachary. They're only having a good time.
We never acted that way when we were in our teens.
What about your husking bees?
Well, what about it? You never danced that way in all your life.
Oh, yes, I did, but I was wearing so many clothes you couldn't tell.
Mother.
If I remember correctly, you were the cut-up of our set. You'd never know it to look at you now.
Grandpa's in an uproar because of the younger generation.
I suspect he's enjoying himself. He just puts on a show because you are expected of it.
You don't think there's anything really wrong in that dance Joe's doing, do you?
Certainly not. I'd rather energy came out that way than in some other way.
No, sir. I haven't touched a drop since Prohibition, and I don't intend to.
Cutting off your nose to spite your face. You know you love the stuff.
Well, what if I do? Law is law, and I recognize it.
Twiddle twaddle.
Well,
Jill's been telling me about the trips you and she take up to the farm. What can you kids do up there?
Oh, we just walk around through the woods, talk. You get tired talking, you sort of loll back and relax. You know, it's a good idea to get away from the gang once in a while. You'd hear an awful lot of gossip if a lot of people knew we went up there.
I consider the sort.
Socrates was the first person to use that expression. You know, he was a wise old geezer. Oh, Selena, did you ever hear about that tribe in Africa where the women are the bosses? Every time they want to get a divorce, all they have to do is fix their tents up and turn them around.
No, I didn't know it.
What's a fact?
What made you say that? Oh, Chet's probably been filling him up with a lot of things he heard on his trip.
You tired waiting, Marcia?
Spencer's killing me. Where's this great hunter?
He's upstairs. Second door on the right. He wants to see you.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's what I mean.
Marcia.
Cheers.
How are you, Brown Eyes?
Oh, I'm tickled pink you're home. It was so sweet of you to want to see me before the others. Jack told me I'd find you up here.
Real pal, that boy. Friend and a brother. Been true to me?
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't.
I thought maybe you'd changed your mind.
You hoped I had.
Darling, how can you say that? I've always been on the up and up with you.
Yes, and a dozen others. But I don't mind. Go ahead, kiss. I love it. You lie so beautifully.
I thought maybe you'd found someone else.
No, I'm like the NWMPs.
Northwest Mounties?
Absolutely. I always get my man.
Oh, you do you?
Yes. Try and escape.
Thanks. That was nice.
Too nice?
No, just about right.
You know, Jill, you're the only girl in the whole gang that I could look at twice.
Now it's my turn to say something nice about you.
You better be careful if you use it against you.
I like the way you sneak a little kiss. You don't start toying.
Yeah, that must be an inhibition. I think I'd better see a neurologist.
You don't. That's why I like you.
Well, I figure the kids are always necking and mushing around, get tired of each other awfully quickly. I don't want anything like that to happen to us.
Neither do I.
The trouble is, I'm going to be catching you on the rebound. First it was Kurt, then it was Moore.
Don't forget, you were sandwiched in between.
Oh, faithful.
Uh-huh.
Then it was Dick, and then it was Chet. I think you took Chet more seriously than any of the others, didn't you?
But he's as good as his age to Marcia now. She's practically announced it.
Now he's returned, the great hero. Killer of lions and crocodiles, elephants. Sunburned, stalwart hero of Africa. You know, if I were half-bred, I'd do something like that.
Well, you hunt seals in Alaska.
I went on a snipe hunt one time. Chet asked me about you this morning.
Did he? What'd he say?
Well, he asked if I'd seen you lately and if you were still as beautiful as ever.
What'd you tell him?
I told him that you were the swellest looking dish in these here now parts. You were more attractive and more entertaining and more lovable and prettier than I'd ever realized. Probably because of somebody you spent a lot of time with lately.
Look out, you'll break your arm patting yourself on the back.
I've already got a dislocated elbow.
What did he say when you told him that about me?
He said you always had been a swell kid, and I agreed with him.
Did he say that?
I guess the big hero's about Mitty's entrance.
Why, you're the handsomest thing I've ever seen.
Well, you're certainly a treat for sore eyes. Did you ever hear that people used to think you had your ears pierced and helped your eyesight?
What you want is a pair of leather spectacles.
Oh, my goodness, did you learn that in Africa?
Practice, beautiful, just practice.
He knew that before he went to Africa. No, everyone does.
Some reputation you have. Why did you become a gigolo? I know better things to do than that.
You don't mind, do you, Marcia?
Certainly not. Zachary, time for you to go stay.
Okay.
Come on. Said, dear, I'm proud of you. The idea of weighing excitement in the terms of dollars and cents.
Thanks, Grandma. Come on, Jill, let's dance.
May I have the pleasure?
Listen.
struggle.
Struggling swimmers always get drowned, my dear. I haven't noticed you rushing to the sense of your colors.
I'm not going to throw myself at anyone.
You know all the things, don't you, Grandma?
I make it a practice of keeping my eyes open.
See all, hear all.
And say nothing.
No.
Someone might see it.
You're on edge tonight, dear. What's the matter?
Oh, I don't know. It's you and I. We're just drifting.
Oh,
I don't like it.
Oh, no, my dear. Listen. We're not people. I don't see anybody. You're nervous, dear.
I have been there. Ever since I knew that I cared. We'd better go in, dear.
I suppose so.
What's the matter, Marcia?
Jill certainly had a nerve.
Don't take it so seriously.
She falls for that big ego stuff.
Well, it's you and everybody else. Calm down.
You are a jelly. Well, I'm going to hop in the car and take a look at all the well-known necklace around. You want to come along?
I'll take you home if you want me to, but I'm not going to snoop on Jill or anybody else.
Come on. We've had enough of this.
You and I were that way about each other long before he chiseled in.
That's so too, but he's always thought I might change my mind. Maybe I'd let him on. Say, what time is it?
2:30.
We'd better be going.
All right. Let's go somewhere tomorrow night.
Well, I'd love to.
Hello?
Hello, Cena?
You have the wrong number.
Oh, I'll wait for your call.
Toby, will you give me a divorce?
What?
We need to stand.
Why, really, this comes as such a terrific shock. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to act.
You act very well.
Is that an accusation or a compliment?
Well, why can't we be frank and truthful?
Well, yes, certainly. You start.
All right? I will. A new car last month. $15,000 for Red Rover, who also ran a cabana last week. $17,500 for stock market losses in 5 days. Oh, and 2 checks to Phil Baker for poker. It isn't I you love, Toby. It's my money.
No, really, my dear.
And that little girl, Mildred Brand. She's quite an expensive item, too.
Mildred is engaged to one of my closest friends. He wanted to back her in a show, so why shouldn't I let him take the money? He had every chance of being a big hit.
I see.
Really, Cena, your suspicions are absolutely unfounded. Mildred and Guy have had a lover's quarrel. I never see her anymore.
I know that divorce laws in this state are not very elastic. But if you'll make it convenient for me, I'll settle $100,000 on you.
Perhaps, Professor Worth, I haven't been quite as attentive toward you as I might have been. But when you say that I married you for your money, you're...
$200,000.
Can you put our love on a monetary basis?
You did.
Well, I wouldn't be interested.
Of course, Kobe, I get your point of view. As my husband, and with my money, your social position is secure. But with my money alone, you'd become Kobe Sherwood again.
Now, let me tell you something. You're not fooling me. I've known for a long time about you and Thayer. And let me tell you something else. I'm on the verge of starting a suit for alienation of affection.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, wouldn't I? Thayer's a cad, or he wouldn't attempt to break up a happy home.
Don't blame Jeff.
Blame him? I'll put a bullet through his head if I so much as see you two together again.
You're becoming melodramatic.
If you think I'm going to stand by and see someone make love to my wife, you're very much mistaken. I'm serious, Tina. This thing has made a wreck of me. You know, I'd do anything to keep someone else from getting you, and that goes to the limit.
Bayside, 23679, please.
Hello? Hello, darling. Something has just come up I must see you about.
Oh, well, I want to see you, too.
Circle 04596.
Hello?
Hello, darling. I'll be up in about half an hour.
Anything you say, sweet. Bye. You'll have to go, George. Toby will be up here any minute.
Yes, Dad.
Oh, Pop. Got up pretty early this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, staying in bed killed me. What's the matter, Dad? Market wrong again?
Where's Madge, your grandfather's liver?
On a rampage, eh?
He has his point of view.
To the wrong end of a telescope.
Your grandfather brought several things to my attention. And unfortunately, most of them are true. To sum the whole thing up, we're indolent, loose, and heading nowhere in particular. Sort of sitting on a volcano.
Did you know that there are 350 active volcanoes in the world? And 152 of them are in the Pacific Group?
Is that so? Now, I want your boys to know that I'm still one of them. We've always more or less done as we pleased, shared what secrets we thought the other would enjoy, played together. But this is the father talking to you now. And I want you to believe that what I'm telling you is for your good.
Are you speaking from experience, or is this just theory?
Don't pay any attention to him, Dad. He's too young to have any serious thoughts. Go ahead, what were you saying?
It's time you decided what you wanted to do in regard to this. You don't have to make up your minds right away. then you should give serious thoughts to marriage. Every man should have a wife and a home to take care of. Sort of irons out the creases in the fellow's character.
Gee, the old man's liver certainly is bad, isn't it?
Your grandparents only visit us once a year, and it's only fair that we should give in to them. Up to a certain point. I think we better have one of our business discussions in the morning. You know, questions and answers.
All right. I'll get the dope on pig iron, Dad, and we'll put on a show. Is that all?
I want you to think about what I said.
Right.
Have a drink?
No, thanks. One look at the pony.
Yes?
Sure. Oh, did you ever notice that a colt slug is just as long when it's born as when it's full grown?
Never gave it a thought.
Well, give a look sometime when you see a young horse running along with its mother. They'll be belly to belly.
Hi, Buck.
All right, Jeff.
You sleep by now.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep.
No, I've been thinking a lot about what Dad said this morning. You know, about getting married and settling down.
Yeah? There's a lucky girl.
Don't know yet.
Well, I can tell you one better than that. I'm going to ask Jill.
I wouldn't do that, kid.
Why not?
Well, I asked her tonight.
What'd she say?
Said yes.
Well, I can't find the answer to that in the book.
I wouldn't take it too hard, kid. There are plenty of other girls.
Sure, I'll find one. Marcia, for instance.
With my compliments.
Yes. Are you really serious about caring for Jill? You know what I mean.
That's a swell question to be asking your brother. Of course I'm serious.
Well, do you mind if I talk to her sometime?
Don't be a giraffe.
I don't get jealous.
Okay. And just to show how big-hearted I am, you can be the best man.
You're too good to me.
Good night, Jack.
Nice, Jeff. What's that? Congratulations. You're certainly getting a swell gal.
Thanks.
Jack called.
Oh, did he? What'd you tell him?
To go out with some friends.
Thanks, Mumsy. Good night, hon.
Night.
Mother. I'll tell you in the morning.
All right, dear.
Thanks for understanding. Good night. Good night.
Hello. Just a moment, miss.
Hello?
Jack, what are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing special?
Let you and I lose the gang and take another day off?
All right. Would you like to go to the farm again?
Mm-hmm. Just the two of us. I'll meet you at the usual place about 10 o'clock.
All right, then. Night.
Good night, Jack.
Well, he's happy for the day. What did the Giants do yesterday?
The Cards beat them 5-1. There you are. Playing pool with me today, Jack?
No, Dad, I'm busy.
Seeing Stephen?
No, I'm going to town.
What for?
Now, after all,
Fenwick is on the wire.
Pardon me.
Going to be home to dinner tonight, Jack?
I don't settle down, Grandma. She might want to have dinner in town.
I guess so.
Hello, Angel. What's on your mind?
Our date's off for today. I'm terribly sorry, really. No, it's in connection with Mother's estate. I'll be at the lawyer's all day. What?
I wonder if your business has anything to do with the fact that Jack is ditching a polo game and is also going into the city.
Why, Cat Sayer, how can you think such a thing? Just for that, I won't see you at all today. I'm not listening to a word you say. You're giving a perfect imitation of an old-fashioned donkey.
Oh, goodbye, Dad. Goodbye, Grandma.
Oh, this is a lot of fun. Come on, get high. Jack,
Yes, Jill?
there's something I want to tell you.
Go ahead.
I have a piece of a time up here with you. So quiet and nice.
I'm glad you do. I never get tired of it myself. What's the matter, Pumpkin?
Or nothing.
I tell you what, let's have dinner here. I brought enough food and we can get back by 10:30. You're alibied all right, aren't you?
Perfectly.
Well, what do you say?
Okay. But let's eat now before it gets dark, huh?
Are you happy?
Mm-hmm. Roll, too.
You know, it's the best. It's custom to eat the mother-in-law.
There always has been a prejudice against mother-in-law.
Let's go sit by the fire.
All right.
There. Plant yourself.
Dad. Did you wonder why I wanted to come up here today?
I don't know. I hadn't given it much thought.
Well, I haven't played exactly fair with you.
Don't be silly.
No, really, I haven't.
Okay, Jill. Go ahead and break down. I can stand almost anything.
You and I have had an awful lot of fun playing around this summer, and I let you live like cared.
Sure, you liked me and I liked you. I knew how you felt.
No, you didn't. You hoped, and I let you.
Well, after all, Jill, a girl has a right to change her mind. I guess I just didn't measure up to your standards.
Oh, Jack, that isn't it. Only, well, you know, Chet and I used to be sweethearts, and, well, last night, he asked me to marry him. And I said yes.
Sure. That's all right, Jill. I understand.
Oh, Jack, I feel awfully mean about it, and that's why I wanted you to come up here with me today, so I could tell you. You aren't mad, are you?
Of course not.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
Forget it. Well, we better be getting back to town. It's raining cats and dogs.
What are we going to do?
We'll have to stay here.
Can't do that.
Oh, I'm not going to drive that road in this pouring rain. I don't want to kill you just yet. You know, we're in a jam.
Jack and Jill went up the hill.
Stay there. You still have a sense of humor.
I need it. I hope the cat's broad-minded.
I tell you, phone Connie Evans and tell her to say that you were staying with her.
Boy, have you got a head. That's a swell idea.
I hope this thing works. You know, that storm's liable to... Hello, operator. Operator? Wait just a minute. You do the talking. Tell Connie you'll see her tomorrow and explain everything.
Okay.
Hello? Hello, operator. Get me New York. Riverside, 73318. That's right. Say, what's the number here?
Oh, just say a stayer.
This is the Sayer place. Please hurry the call. I'll hold the line.
You know, it's a good thing Alexander Graham Bell invented that thing before he died.
I'll say it is. Hello? Hello? Hello, operator. Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, is that you, Connie?
Hello. I can hardly hear you. Talk louder, please. Oh, is that you, Jill? Yes, this is Connie.
Connie, I want you to do something for me. This rain's put me in a jam. Yes. Yes, I want you to say that I spent the night with you.
Oh, sure, I'll do that for you. No explanation necessary, honey. You can do as much for me sometime.
Okay. Thanks.
Goodbye. Was that Jill Fenwick? Jill? No, it was Bill. Oh.
Jack? Oh, Jack, please don't do that.
What's the matter?
Why, Jack said, did you drink this whole bottle?
Guess maybe I did.
Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You felt like I do, you'd do the same thing.
You might know you're going to pass out like a light drinking that much.
What if I do?
Well, I don't call that being a very good sport.
Don't fuzz at me. I was only trying to forget. We're pals, aren't we?
I hope so.
Well, then I can talk without you thinking I'm crying over spilled milk. I'm trying to change your mind.
If you think you want to.
I shouldn't say it still, but I've loved you lots longer than you ever suspected. I never rushed you like a regular sweetheart, but afraid I'd lose you. You know, girls like to play around, go out with a lot of boys. Sometimes they feel if they settle down to an engagement before they've had a fling, they've lost something. Isn't that right?
I guess so.
So I just waited. Bided my time. Once it turns up, I want to take you in my arms, make love to you. But I waited too long. Oh, I didn't mean to make you cry, Jill. That's a swell fella. I'd rather see him marry you than anybody else. I wish you a lot of happiness. Both of you. Oh, forget it, Jill. It's just the liquor talking. You don't mind. I think I'll lie down a while. This stuff's beginning to hit with a terrible wallop.
Are you all right, Jack?
Sure, I'm all right. Sorry I made such a fool of myself, Jill.
Oh, that's all right. You'll feel better pretty soon.
Kiss me just once, will you? Thanks. You're a swell pal.
Probably one of the boys. Mr. Ray must have given them away. Well, it turned out the light.
Well, it's lucky for us we missed them. Might have been a little difficult to explain.
If it doesn't stop raining, we'll be here till morning.
Yes, isn't there some way we can get back?
That's all I could do to force the car through that last crossing.
I shouldn't have said I'd come.
Oh, it's all in the cards. What is to be, will be.
We're philosophers. If the tabloids get hold of this, they'll crucify us.
No one would ever believe we came up here just to talk.
Hardly.
There must be some solution to our problems, Tina.
It will have to end.
End? You talk as though we were having, well, an affair or something.
Really inevitably good.
May I come in?
Oh, Joe,
Hello, Tina. How are you? Just fine. May I have a cigarette, Jack?
Of course. Nice check.
Why, I'm with Jack.
Jack?
Mm-hmm. Jack. He's in there, dead to the world. I told him that Chet and I were engaged, and he succeeded in drowning his sorrows.
Oh, I see.
No, you don't see. But I'll tell you. Jack and I used to picnic up here just to get away from the crowd. And, well, today was to have been our swan song as far as he and I were concerned. It was so nice, and so we decided to stay for supper. Then it rained, and, well, here we are. You believe me, don't you?
Of course I do, dear.
It's all right, Joe. I know Jack. And I know you.
Marcia.
darling.
Well, dear, how are you, Jack?
Fine, thank you, Jack. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
You sit down and join me. I'm all alone.
Thanks, relax.
love
Let's go to
it.
the chess table.
You sit over there.
Sit here.
Yeah, I like it. This is luck, isn't it? Say, it's so nice to see you again, Jack.
Good to see you, too.
But how come you're all alone?
Well, everybody sort of deserted me this evening. What do you know, Marcia?
Oh, I know lots.
Sounds very interesting.
Oh, may I have a cigarette?
Certainly, Connie.
I'll tell you when we dance.
All right.
Jill's confessed. I'm going to tell her about us.
You don't have to.
We'd rather.
Just tell her, Jack.
Tina and I love each other. We're confronted with a problem to which apparently there's no solution.
Yes, I know. Mr. Sherwood.
And we thought no one knew.
You sillies. Why, all of us know. You mean to sit there and tell me that everybody knows about Jeff and me?
Well, of course. We've all known that Jeff's been in love with you for over a year.
Tina? There's the solution to our problem.
Well, what do you mean?
I'll tell you tomorrow. Meanwhile, young lady, you have a problem.
You're telling me?
You got an alibi?
Just before Jack passed out, he had a brilliant idea that I phoned Connie Evans. I did, and she's going to say I spent the night with her.
It's not bad. And if your story does fall down, well, I guess we're all tarred with the same brush.
There's nothing to worry about, really. Connie's a clever liar. Besides, it's just as well Jack doesn't know about you being here. He's dead to the world now, and you can leave in the morning before he wakes up.
Yes, I'd rather Jack didn't know. Not that I'm ashamed to have him know about us, but I seem to understand his nature. It would be a blow to his pride to have me see that he couldn't handle his liquor. You do something to that boy.
Yes, it would. Will you folks skedaddle early in the morning and leave everything to me?
Oh, that's awfully sweet of you, Jill. But if anything should happen, and your story needs corroboration, don't...
Oh, don't be silly. Nothing's going to happen. Well, free the crowd. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, dear. He cares as much for Ted as he does for Jack.
Either one of them will be lucky.
It seems mighty plain to me. He goes to town and you go to town. He stays out all night and you stay out all night.
Is that a crime?
Well, I know you weren't at Connie Evans last night.
How do you know I wasn't?
Because Marcia told me.
Oh, so Marcia told you.
She was at Connie's and you were not.
And where do you think I was?
That's what I intend to find out.
All right, find out. I'm nothing kidding.
If you start keeping things from me now, no telling what you'll do later.
The way you're acting, I don't even care to discuss it with you.
Listen, Jill, I won't stand for this sort of thing.
Just what do you intend to do about it?
You could stop this whole argument if you just tell me where you were.
Listen, Chet Thayer, you've made some pretty horrible insinuations. You ought to be more of a gentleman. And until you apologize, I don't even care to talk to you anymore, and if I never see you again, it's all right with me.
All right. I know one thing. You weren't at Connie's and you wouldn't tell me where you were. But I intend to find out. What? Wait a minute.
Oh, what's Chet all roughed up about? Found out I wasn't at Connie's last night. Well, if you didn't want to tell him, you must have had a reason. I did have a moment. I just couldn't tell him. But I can tell you. Part of it.
You must have had a wild night on the ocean, Jack.
Why?
Your eyes look like balloon tires.
Well, I didn't sleep very well. Oh, these modern youngsters.
Jack, do you mind? I want to talk to you.
All right.
Zachary, leave those boys alone. If Chet didn't have something he wanted to say in private, he'd have spilled it here.
I was only going to the paper.
Of course I believe you, dear.
But if you can prove that you and Jack were not alone, don't you think it would be a wise thing to do? It's going to be gossip.
Well, as long as you believe me, I don't care what the others say.
Who else was with you, sir?
Well, Mommy, I can't tell you. Because in a minute, I'll tell you why I can't tell you.
All right, dear.
What's the telegram? Somebody dead?
Oh, you're hopeless. It's for you.
Oh, is it? Read this, Mommy, while I change. I'll explain all about it later.
I told you it wasn't none of your business where I was last night. I don't keep tabs on Jill. How do you expect me to know where she was?
All I want you to do is answer yes or no. Was she with you?
That's a hell of an accusation for a brother to make.
Jen! Stop that swearing.
Zachary, keep your mouth shut.
Yes, but I did. Well, you haven't done anything.
I was snipe hunting. You're a liar. You're acting like a heel.
Your car was all muddy this morning. You were up at the farm, weren't you?
Well, what if I was?
Jill called Connie from long distance.
Well, that's a place you can call long distance from.
Maybe there are. But Jill was up there with you. She didn't deny it.
Admit it, did she?
No, she didn't.
Smart girl.
Then she was up there with you, wasn't she? Wasn't she? Why, you dirty little chiseler. Chit! Chit! Jack. Jack. I didn't mean to do it.
Zachary, go and get a doctor. Quick, quick. Oh, let him rest until I get him.
All right. Austin, yes, call the doctor. Let's do the next one. Yes, sir, hurry. Now, take it. That's only to look at the food. Why doesn't he say something to me? Just let him rest easy.
Get out of the way, Zachary. Hold that.
Hello, Harkness. I want to see Mr. Jack.
He's with the doctor.
What's the matter?
He met with an accident.
Where is he?
He's upstairs.
There you are, as good as new.
Thanks.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
A good job.
Oh, what's happened?
Nothing. I just got a bump that knocked me kind of silly for a while. I'm all right now.
How pretty, Jill. Jack and I had an argument about you, and I hit him. I didn't realize what I was doing. I'm sorry.
He wouldn't admit that I spent last night with him at the farm, wouldn't he?
No, he wouldn't.
Well, I did. And here's something else that might be of interest to you.
I told you so.
They should have done it a long time ago.
You feel all right now?
I think I'll live.
Let's go up to the farm. I'll drive.